Hi everyone. I'm just going to round up last week's trading. It was a bit of a tricky week because I suppose because of 4th of July and coming into the summer period, and so there wasn't really a lot of action. I wasn't expecting any. But that being said, my system is tested and based on trading continuously, and so the best course of action is to just execute your model continuously, because that's what the large chunk of your data is based on. Now, if you believe that bank holidays and public holidays, you may be at disadvantage to trade those periods of those days, then by all means test it, and if your data backs it up, then add that to your plan. But as with most things with my trading, I'm just trying, the best trend trading strategies are simplified as much as possible, not the other way around. So the idea is to get rid of as much extra information and decisions as possible. So if there's clearly no edge in leaving out specific days, NFP releases, public holidays, if there's no advantage in that, it's much simpler just to build a model that you continuously follow, and that's always what I try and strive to do. Obviously, with hindsight, when you look back at last week, you can you could say, well, pretty much any trend trading strategy would have lost money or struggled to make any money last week, but that's hindsight bias, and it's just looking at a small bit of data. And if you do that, then systematic trading is not for you, and you could possibly argue that trading full stop is not for you. Okay, you have to break the desire for short-term gratification and that feeling of always being right and being a winner. One simple way of getting an edge over large groups of people is a behavioural edge, and if you know that the majority of people want instant gratification and consistently want to win, then you can use that to have an advantage over large groups of traders, by doing the exact opposite. So anyway, that aside, let's just run through last week anyway. So I did take this trade long right at the start of on Sunday night, that went to 2R and then stopped out, and then I took this next entry here on Monday, which was going quite well. It didn't quite get to 2R. I suppose I had an option to move it to break even. I didn't. It reversed and stopped me out, so that was -2 straight off the bat. On Tuesday, we broke below the moving average. We had this quite nice setup here. I chose this swing point as my stop, and this one came close to 2R, and in the morning I decided to move that one to break even. I'm just going to move the charts along a little bit. Ooh. Okay, so whoops. So sorry about that. Clicked the wrong app then. So this was my third trade that I was in at break even, and that did stop out overnight on Thursday, or very early Thursday morning. And then we had this long setup here. Now, these very large, wide setups, I kind of use a little bit of discretion on these. I don't really like to use discretion, but what I liked about this one was, price was trending down, and this was the first reversal. Okay, so, there is a chance that I'm right at the start of a trend if it does continue on. Okay, but often with these wide ones, if then price starts rotating down and then makes a first rotation up again, I'll take a second trade within this, like I did about 2 weeks ago, if you remember. So that was my fourth trade, and then on Friday we just retraced down, and that fourth trade is sitting in a bit of a drawdown. So -2 are this week. Not particularly worried about that. And today I'm off to Bangkok for 3 weeks, so I may or may not be trading for a short time. I'm going to be somewhere where the Wi-Fi is not great, so that week I might not be trading. We'll see. I'll try and trade and keep updated. Failing that, I'll be back at the end of the month. Any comments or questions below, and have a good weekend.